Hi, I'm here with Elisabeth Sangüesa. Elisabeth, tell us who you are.
First of all, thank you, Cathy, for inviting me to be with you. It's always a pleasure to share. We go back a long way.
A long way.
So it is always good to be with you. I am Spanish by nationality, but I have been living in the UK for a very long time.
Since you were young?
Yes, since 1984 to be precise. So we were young in those days. But I'm currently serving as the general manager of the Stammer Press. We are based in Lincolnshire, and funny enough, this is probably one of the oldest, if not the oldest institution in the British Union Conference, because we have been serving since 1884. I think before the BUC was actually established.
Wow.
So we have been around for a little while, serving the community, the British Isles. I am a third generation Adventist. And yes, one of the things that I love the most, of course, and I think that's why I work with books, is reading. The other thing is traveling, but it's just a passion for seeing people having a better life. And I think books can do that.
So you have both of your passions are realised with your travel and your reading through your job. Because
Yes.
you're all over the world, you're all over the place, and actually it's an absolute privilege to have Liz here, be able to sit down for 5 minutes or so because she's all so busy. So Liz, you're on your last trip, which you just flew in from yesterday. Tell us where you were.
I was at the annual council in Washington at the General Conference.
Okay. What were you doing there?
Mainly interacting with all, as you know, the Adventist Church has every 5 years has some major changes in many of the territories, and it's a good opportunity to meet all the new leaders and to see the strategies and the plans that are being laid out for the next at least year, if not 5 years time. So it's always a good idea to connect, because one of the things that I really believe in is to work in synergy with other departments and to work together, because I think we can achieve a lot more if we work in collaboration with others. And that's what I was doing. I was visiting people, finding authors, seeing what projects we can do together and how we can advance the message.
So you talked about the message. So annual council, it's about all of the church leaders, main church leaders come together from the general conference, divisions and the unions coming together. So what's that experience like? How did it make you feel?
In a way, it makes you feel very small because you see so many people. But at the same time, it makes you feel like you belong to a very diverse but very rich family, in the sense that there's multiple cultures, multiple ethnicities, but at the end of the day, we all have the same needs and the same passion. And this year, the emphasis has been on mission, fulfilling God's mission, and to unite us in mission. Sometimes we concentrate on what divides us, what makes us different from others, but perhaps it's slightly time to concentrate on what unites us, what makes us be one, what makes us gives us a one single objective. And that was very much put forward this annual council.
But how can we move forward as one when, as you mentioned, it's so diverse? You know, how do I spread the mission? How am I missional in the UK? Does that look different in Brazil or in Asia or in Zimbabwe? How can we still remain as one when we come from such diverse spaces?
I think the key is going to not focus on the methods, but on the message. The methods may vary a lot because we are very different, as you said. We have many languages, many cultures, many different parts of the world. But at the end of the day, needs are needs, and we are all human. And at the end of the day, we all have pretty much the same needs. We all feel lonely sometimes. We all have financial challenges sometimes. We all have mental issues at some point. We'll all have family issues at some point. We all have hunger in our countries at different levels. So the needs are basic around the world. Maybe the methods may vary a little bit, but the needs are there. And what should unite us is our desire to help and to improve those conditions around the world. And that it doesn't matter the method, the result or the end, the bottom line, we just need to follow the example that Jesus gave us. And he didn't say do it only to one little people. He said do it to all.
So Adventists have a very unique message and a very unique mission. Now, we've been Adventists all of our lives. We've kind of been out there for us. What helps us what do you think helps us as Seventh-day Adventist Christians to spread the message that Jesus gave us? What is so different from us than other Christians, for example?
I know we have the doctrines and we have specific things like, the Sabbath and the sanctuary and all of these, the state of the dead and all of these kind of things, which are very important. But what I think we should makes us different is that for us it should be a lifestyle, not just a religion, it's a lifestyle. And if we really believe in that lifestyle, everything we say, do, not do, and it should reflect Christ's values. And to me, that has a way of all the doctrines coming through just through your lifestyle. That can have a lot more of an impact than me just standing on a pulpit and preaching about the three angels' messages, which are very important, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, you have to translate that into a practical thing. And people relate to people. And people relate to practical things. When your needs are being met, then you are more receptive to other concepts. And spirituality is a part of our being. One thing that I think Adventist that differentiates us is that we try to look after a holistic well-being. It's not just the physical aspect, it's not just the mental aspect, it's the spiritual aspect, but the social aspect, all of it has to come in a package. And I think that's what differentiates us a little bit from the other denominations. But we're no unique. We just have to live what we preach.
So I want to ask you a question that I've often asked myself, and it's a reaffirmation, but on this weekend where we are actually looking at Adventist identity and what that actually means, what does it mean to you? Why are you a Seventh-day Adventist?
I guess you could say that I started as a Seventh-day Adventist in my family, so it has been something that I have grown with. But it comes at a point that you have to make your own decisions, you have to make your own choice. And to me, it's the choice that makes the most sense.
In what way? So for your audience, what kind of way does being a Seventh-day Adventist make sense to you?
To me, it's just putting all the different pieces together. And sometimes, we cannot explain everything that we believe. It's sometimes you just have to go and close your eyes and you think, okay, I don't fully understand this, but I do believe it, so I'll go with it. To me, believing in a God that wants the best for you. And I have experienced in my life, and I'm sure you have as well, situations that you didn't think it was going to turn out that way, that you didn't know how it was going to turn out. You didn't have a clue what the future would look like. And you've ended up in a place that you never dreamt of, and is much better than what you had perhaps wished for. And that to me, it has been proven time and time again. I see it, for example, with the literature that we distribute. I see people's lives being transformed. And when you see that, it reaffirms my belief that, number one, I'm in the right place. Number two, I'm doing the right thing. For me, my passion is distributing literature, creating it, and just allowing others to see Christ somehow through me, which is not an easy thing because I'm very much imperfect and definitely I'm far from perfection. But I have some friends who are not Adventist, and I've known them all my life as well. And one of the things it surprised me because I didn't realize. One of my friends said to me, "Whenever I see you, I see peace." I said, "Pardon?" Because I don't consider myself peaceful. But she said, "No, when you're always smiling, you give me peace. You give me a different vibe that I don't get it from anybody else." I thought, "Oh wow, I didn't realize." So to me, that encompasses being Adventist is a way of life. I don't know how to explain it better, but it's not exactly all the doctrines or anything like that. It's just a way of life.
I do like that actually, because actually we can, by our lifestyle, people can know that we are Christians and that we are following a biblical model. Now, just going to turn a little bit. You mentioned about books and you love creating books, and I know that something's coming up really soon that you really would like to tell us about. Tell us about this. Tell the audience about this.
We have a book fest coming up next week, and we want to make sure that everybody has access to books. So if you want to visit our website, our online store, which is livesourcebookshop.co.uk, you will see there that you have a lot of materials and other special offers. But we have some exciting titles that we have just published recently. One of them is Love Fights Back.
Okay, what's that about?
It's 3 love stories.
Because love doesn't fight. We're told love is patient, love is kind. Apostle Paul tells us. So love fights back. What's this about?
It's the way God is fighting for us to find that love.
Okay.
It's 3 love stories.
Okay.
I would actually recommend you to read it because you might come with a different understanding of what these 3 messages are about.
Okay. Who's written by?
Dr. Patrick Johnson.
Okay. And Patrick is from where?
He is the Ministerial Association Director for the Trans-European Division, which is one of the European divisions from the General Conference. But he is from the British Union. He is born here. He's bred here. He has worked in other countries, but yeah, he's one of us. We are very happy that he has chosen to publish with us. It's his first book, but it is a very powerful book. Actually, in a language that is written for those who question things, those who have not necessarily a whole lot of knowledge about the Bible, but that is a very deep book because it has the common language, but then it has the depth of the Bible study as well. So it is actually, I would recommend it. And another book.
And how much is it? How does it buy? Because Christmas is coming. I'm going to be thinking about these things. What's the kind of cost?
Well, if you take advantage of the book first, you will get a 10% discount. But I think it's about $6.95.
Okay, nice price.
Yeah, $6.95. But don't quote me that because it could be more. It could be less. It could be less. I think probably less. No more, but less. Yes. We have another title written by Dr. Richard Daly as well, and that is more of a motivational book. It's written out of his personal experience throughout lockdown, because we all go through storms in our lives. We hear every single day that, the cost of living crisis and that crisis and the other crisis, the crisis everywhere, the storms surrounding us all the time. And this book has come at a perfect time to give us encouragement that it doesn't matter what is the storm that you're facing in your life right now. You're not alone, number 1. And number 2, there is a way out. Number 3, you have somebody that has already made that way out for you. And this book speaks to young people, to older people, to children, to believers, non-believers, anyone that has gone or is going through any challenging situation in their life. They will find hope. This book is about hope and positivity and pushing through the storm, because what comes out of the storm is actually a beautiful day.
Wow. Elizabeth, thank you so much for talking to us about Adventist Identity, talking to us about your work, talking to us about the upcoming book fest, which we're really excited about. We hope to see you soon. You can come back and give us some more information about what's going on in Stanborough Press and Life Source, and encourage us to find more books. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Thank you for inviting me, and I look forward to coming back again.